Quite an operation they've got going on in here.
Hello, sir. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
May I have a moment?
You may.
I'm Alfred Banks, and I believe you have the advantage.
Marjorie Stoneman Douglas.
Pleasure. What is it you do around here, Miss Douglas?
I write articles, conduct interviews, and investigate stories. I'm what's commonly referred to in this business as a reporter.
I suppose that was a bit of a silly question on my part.
Well, at least you can admit to it. That puts you ahead of most.
Have you reported anything on George Merrick's Coral Gables project?
Don't know that I'd have to. He spent a small fortune on advertising. I doubt there's a single person in town who hasn't heard of it by now.
That may not exactly be the case. Mr. Merrick asked me to come here and inquire about possibly getting someone to do a bit of publicity for him.
Ah, suddenly it all becomes clear. Let's get something straight right now. I'm not some dumb Dora at anyone's beck and call. If Merrick wants a reporter in his pocket, it'll have to be someone else. I'm far too busy to find myself on the leash of some land developer and his cronies.
Now, let's not be so hasty. I'm sure Mr. Merrick isn't looking for a lapdog, just someone who can provide some help. Maybe we can reach some sort of agreement.
Now that you mention it, maybe we can. Okay, I'll help you out if you do me a favor first.
Name it.
There's a story I've been following, but I've hit a bit of a roadblock. Are you familiar with Jeremiah Miller?
Afraid not. Who is he?
He's a local politician, county commissioner in fact, very outspoken on the subject of prohibition. I have reason to believe, however, that he's full of hot air. Unfortunately, I've never been able to get close enough to him to see if my hunch is right.
So, where do I come in?
Miller enjoys spending his time at the Miami Men's Club on Brickell Avenue. I figure if he's going to indulge in any illicit pastimes, that would be his ideal spot. As I am of the fairer sex and therefore not allowed inside, I need someone I can trust to get in there and see if I'm right.
And you trust me?
Not particularly, but you're my best hope, and you need my help. So I figured you've got the best chance of actually getting this done.
So, if I catch Miller in the act, what then?
Bring me some sort of proof of his hypocrisy, be it a photograph or a signed confession. I'm not fussy.
I'll see what I can do. Do you enjoy your work here?
I do, although to be completely frank, it's gotten a bit tedious. Granted, what I'm doing now is much better than what I did when I started, that being the society column. Back then, things were so slow I made up half my stories.
It certainly seems like there's a lot going on in town these days.
I won't argue with you on that point, but we'll see what the future brings. Maybe I'll take a crack at going out on my own. We've managed to get the vote. I see no reason why a woman can't make a name for herself as a freelance writer.
Anything you can tell me about Miami?
When I first got here, this was no more than a glorified railroad terminal. There were less than 5,000 people and the streets were made of white dust. Now we've got hundreds, if not thousands, of new faces showing up every day and are constantly expanding. I bet it won't be long before some other fool tries draining the Everglades to make more room.
I'll see you around.
Count on it.
Begging your pardon, my good man.
Yes?
This seems a rather exclusive establishment.
Yes, sir, it is. Did you need something in particular, or did you prefer to stand around all day discussing the obvious?
Let's say, hypothetically speaking, that someone wanted to join your club. How would one go about doing so?
It's a rather simple three-step process. 1, you have to be a man. I believe you've already met that requirement. 2, you must prove your pedigree. We don't just allow anyone in off the street. Finally, you need to have a respected member of the community vouch for you. Once you've done that, it's a simple matter of waiting to be contacted for approval.
Let's say, how would one...
It's a 1, 2, final, once you...
I didn't catch your name.
That's because I didn't pitch it. You can call me Morris if you need anything. Of course, how much I'll actually be able to serve you remains to be seen.
Morris? Any relation to Evan Morris from New York?
I don't think so, no.
Oh, well, I guess that helps my chances of getting into this club at least. Are you familiar with a gentleman by the name of Jeremiah Miller?
I'm not at liberty to say.
Come on, I know for a fact that he's a member of this club.
Then why did you ask me?
Because I want to know what you know about him.
As I said, I'm not at liberty to discuss members of this club with non-members. I'm sure you understand.
I'm afraid I must be going.
Good day to you, sir.
Take a look at this photo. Notice anything in particular?
It looks like you, with a mustache. If I may be frank, I'm glad you shaved it off. It doesn't really suit you.
That's my father, Hiram Banks. He was one of the top real estate moguls in the Northeast. Surely that demonstrates I have some sort of pedigree.
Ah, of course. While I have to admit I've never heard of the man, we have several members who surely have, being in that field. Very good. The club will take this into consideration when evaluating your membership application.
Pardon me, miss.
What can I help you with, sir?
I have an interview scheduled with Mr. Riley today.
I see. And your name is?
Alfred Banks.
Just a minute.
Were you going to let him know I'm here?
Huh? Oh, right. Hey, Mr. Riley, you got someone here to see you.
I think I could have done that myself.
Go ahead and go through the door there.
Of course. Thank you.
What can I do for you, young man?
Hello, Mr. Riley. My name is Alfred Banks, and I'm here for a job interview.
Ah, yes, of course. My secretary informed me you'd be coming in. I'm afraid I'm in a bit of a hurry today, however. I have a very important appointment I must depart for in about 15 minutes.
Then I suppose we should get this over with as soon as possible.
Yes, of course. Well, let's begin. Why don't we start off by you telling me a bit about yourself?
Well, you already know my name. I used to work at Morrison Banks up in New York, but recently moved here because of the land boom. I've got plenty of experience from working at my father's company.
You don't say. What made you get into real estate?
If I have to be honest, it's so I can achieve some financial security. I really wanted to be an artist, but real estate was the family business and it just seemed more lucrative.
Money is nice, Banks, but it's not everything. You know the old saying about money not buying happiness, surely.
Of course.
It's very true. You can buy people off, certainly, but there's just some things that haven't got a price. The love of your children, for example. But enough of me rattling on. Now, what do you think you can bring to this company?
I've got a great sales record. At my old job, I was pulling in an average of 27 sales a month.
Well, Banks, I must say, you seem to be a very promising candidate. I'll have my secretary contact you in a few days. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must run. I have to meet my daughter for dinner, and I don't want to be late. A word of advice, Banks. As great as this business will make you feel, you are nobody if you haven't got someone who loves you. My daughter, for instance, means the world to me. I always want her to be around, which is why I've got these paintings of her in my office. But I digress. Let me show you back out. Good day to you, Banks. Caroline, hold my calls.
Pardon me, miss.
What can I help you with, sir?
I'm afraid I need to get back into Mr. Riley's office.
Oh? Why is that?
I left something behind in there during my interview.
Oh, I see. Go ahead and get it. I never lock the door when Mr. Riley is out anyway.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate the help.
Yes? May I help you?
Good day to you, sir. My name is Alfred Banks, and...
Whatever it is you're selling, I'm not interested.
But I'm not here to sell you anything. In fact, quite the contrary.
Oh, I see. Merrick sent you, didn't he?
Well, yes, he did.
Look, you can go back and tell him exactly what I told all the others. Nothing doing. I bought this land before he got his little vision, and I intend to keep it. I tried appeasing him by building my house to match his Mediterranean style, but apparently even that wasn't good enough. I did everything by the book and filed all the proper paperwork. You tell Merrick he'll get me off this land when I'm no longer drawing breath. Good day to you, sir. You again? What do you want?
Sir, I really just want to have a chat.
I know your game. You vipers are just trying to trick me, and before I know it, you'll be flim-flamming me into signing some paper handing over my land. Well, you can just forget it. I've worked too hard on this house to just let it go. The paperwork alone was a nightmare and a half. Nothing you can say will convince me to sell my land. Nothing. Good day to you, sir.
Excuse me.
What can I do for you?
Could I look something up?
Of course.
There's a house at 1251 Anastasia Avenue that I need some information on.
Of course. Let me go have a look. Yes, here we are. Belongs to one Ernest Mathers. Built it himself 6 months ago.
Might I have a copy of the document?
What's your business with it?
I'm working with Mr. George Merrick of the Coral Gables project, and it's of utmost importance to his acquisition of the land.
All right, you can take this copy.
Thank you for your help.
Anytime.
You again? What do you want?
Mr. Mathers, I've just been to the Hall of Records downtown, and I pulled up a copy of your house record.
Yes? And?
It seems you had a property inspection done when you completed the house, but it was very basic. Furthermore, you didn't pull any construction permits.
I didn't need to. I haven't done any exterior work.
Nevertheless, I'm afraid I'll need to perform an inspection of your home just as a matter of record.
On what authority?
Look, you can either let me come in and do a brief home inspection, or I can report you to the county, and you can deal with whatever fine or punishment they see fit to dispense.
Fine. Come in. I don't know what you expect to find, though.
Your fireplace seems to be letting go of some of its tiles.
Oh, yes. I've been meaning to fix those.
Nice gazebo. I hope you know you need to have a permit to have one of those.
It was a wedding gift from my sister. How was I meant to know?
Ignorance of rules is no excuse, Mr. Mathers. Uneven rafters are quite the hazard. This whole roof could come tumbling down on you.
Haven't had any problems so far.
Your floor tiles are severely cracked here. Do you regularly have elephants as house guests?
No. I mean, my mother-in-law hasn't seen the new house yet. That was a joke.
I'm sure it was. These baseboards look like they were installed during the Roosevelt administration.
No, they're supposed to look like that. It's the style, makes them seem classic.
What a mess! You clearly have a problem with a water leak.
And I've called the plumber, but he's yet to get back to me.
This wall shows clear signs of water damage. You probably have a cracked pipe somewhere back there.
Oh, I suppose that would explain it.
Quite a nasty buildup of mold you have here.
My wife told me she'd clean it up.
You seem to have several problems in this home. Are you sure you performed a thorough inspection?
Well, yes. Yeah, I'm sure I did.
I see. And who was it that performed this inspection exactly?
Why, it was a man. Yes, a man from the city.
And did you happen to get this man's name?
Well, no, I wasn't aware of...
You didn't really have an inspection performed, did you?
No. I paid someone to say they had done one on the public record. You won't tell anyone, will you?
You're in quite a state here, Mr. Mathers. Not only did you build this house without the proper permits, but you also put fraudulent information on your report. This doesn't look good any way you cut it.
Please, I have money. How much to get you to look the other way?
I'm afraid my silence can't be bought, Mr. Mathers. However, you might be able to get yourself out of this jam if you sell your house and land to Mr. Merrick.
So this is what it's come to. I see how it is. You come in here playing the white knight, but you're no better than any of the rest of them. I did what I had to do to keep my land, but I suppose that was all for naught. Fine. I'll call up Mr. Merrick and tell him he's won. I hope you can live with yourself, you snake.
I'm sure I'll manage. Have a nice afternoon, sir.